Hi there. So today I'm just going to talk about working out your glutes. So when I first started the transition from walking to running at just after 6 months after my hip replacement, the sort of noticeable difference was that my muscles were pretty weak. And if you understand that I hadn't run for 4 years, but between the time I got injured and the time I had my hip replacement, so I wasn't used to running, so I needed to build my muscles up, and primarily your glutes and your quads, hamstrings and calves are what make you run well. So if you need to get a little bit stronger in your muscles before you attempt running, squats are the mainstay of working out your glutes. Though it can be quite difficult to do a freestanding squat when you first attempt them after a hip replacement. So when you do squat, you've got to just make sure your knees don't go in, because that's the biggest error. And of course, once we've had a hip replacement, we're not going to be completely even afterwards. So, don't get all upset if one side is going well but the other isn't. You just do the best you can. So I actually find that if you squat holding on to a chair, it's a lot easier because you've got a bit of stability and you can usually have better form. So maybe that will be your first attempt at squatting, is holding a rail or a chair. Now, the same thing is with lunges. After a hip replacement, even 6 months after, I wasn't doing lunges, straight away. It takes a little bit of time to build the strength in the muscles. So, in the beginning, it might be a better choice to do a reverse lunge. And that's when you start from a standing position and then you go back to a kneeling position, legs at 90 degrees, almost touching the ground but not quite. So that can be your first step in building your glutes. If you're not strong enough, or your muscles don't feel strong enough to be able to push off on your standing leg, then move up to the forward lunge, which is, again, you're trying to create 90-degree angles and going in a kneeling position almost to the floor. So this is my lunge with my right hip. I had my right hip done. When I go like that, left leg forward, the right hip has to push me back. So when I do my lunges, I prefer to do them 10 in a row on one side and then push back. That way the standing leg has to do all the work. Now the other thing to build your glutes, you need to go upstairs or up hills. That's the best way to build the strength. If you don't have a staircase to go up and down, a box or a step is fine, and you need to do your step ups. No need to go fast in the beginning. Get a firm step on the box and just basically march up and down. Very good for the glutes. You can also mix it up, go sideways. Still working the glutes but from a different angle, and you get your adductors included as well. If you can run or walk up hills, do it. The other thing you can do is a few things on the mat. So the main one for the glutes on the floor is a bridge. So you can just hold this, put your arms underneath, shoulder, go up, right up on your shoulders, relax your throat and hold that position. Squeeze your bottom, don't just sort of be passive, squeeze your bottom, and you should be able to easily do that for 30, 60 seconds. Also, as an alternative, you can do a one-legged bridge lift where you have one leg straight, push up, squeeze and down. So lift and down. holding it there for a second and bring it down, and make sure you do it on each side. So lifting up. And again, you can do that with 2 legs, so if you're not holding, you can just do repetitions, squeezing the bottom and lifting. Okay, so your journey towards running again is not going to be quick. You have to take your time, you've got to build up your muscle, and you've got to just sort of increase your distance slowly, and that's the way to success. Right, see you next time then. Bye.